It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello to all, and happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this exciting, invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I want to thank each one of our listeners that have taken their time to tune in live today, and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each one of you. And I am just overly excited today, again, to have with me my returning diva, Beth Lauren Parrish. It is always so much fun when we chat, and she gives such great information. And today is going to be just as exciting as every other one, and maybe even a little bit more today. Because today we're going to talk about Heartstorms versus Brainstorms. Oh, my goodness, this is going to be good. So, Beth, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Sure. Thank you so much, Joyce. My name is Beth Lauren Parrish, and my business is Inspired Riding. I am a certified riding instructor, a remote coach, animal communicator, and also known as a fairy dust distributor. I love to encourage the fun and playfulness and encourage my clients always to listen to their intuition, trust it, and listen to their horses, so that way they can have the best co-creative dances possible.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love being a fairy dust distributor. Oh, that is so cute. I just love it. And to dance with your horse. That every time you say that, it just touches my heart. I'm like, oh, my goodness. You truly do live from your heart. That's why this topic is going to be so much fun, because you're always living from your heart rather than from the brain and the ego that so many of us have a tendency to live from in this busy, busy world. So how would you like to start to share with our listeners some of the tips and ideas you have on living this way?
Well, I'd first like to just talk about when you're too much in your head and in those brainstorm moments, trying to sort out all of the mental chatter. The clarity feels like it takes a lot of effort when you're looking for solutions, because you're just trying to think logically, and you're writing down all the pros and the cons, and you're thinking about all the little minutiae of everything that could go wrong, or maybe some things will go right. And then when you actually quiet your mind, you can tap into the magic of asking for solutions from your heart. And it allows you to tap into your higher self, your soul. And that way, your soul will have a voice. And it'll allow you to take some deep breaths and let go of the clunkiness, the static ideas, and you'll have clarity in the most surprising ways. So I just want to remind people that it's very common for people to just go into that brainstorm mode, and there's nothing wrong with it. And you might actually come up with some good solutions. But you can bypass a lot of the stress and a lot of that work feeling to simply just asking your heart, and you're going to find a huge difference in the responses. So here's a useful example. While in my head, I'm thinking about creating like a proper brainstorm. I'll write out all the things I think I need to get done, like get done for the day, get done for the month, like for my business. By the time I'm finished writing that list, I feel exhausted. I feel overwhelmed, and I don't really even know where to begin because it's like so much to take on, right? But if I were to drop my energy down from my mind and relax my mind by giving it like an easy task to think about, something like, what am I going to have for dinner later? Then it's like you're giving your mind a task, and then you can just relax and then place your hand on your heart and breathe. Get into your still point and notice what solutions come up. You can simply ask your heart, hey, what should I do next? Which is the most amazing thing that can happen for me right now? And then very often, very clear, simple, and surprising solutions will just pop up. And it's amazing when you start to get into that habit. But it really does take practice, because our society is just focused on the logic and, you know, a lot more of the ego, and this is what I need to do to get ahead kind of thing. It's like, well, actually, you'd actually have a smoother, a better life going with the flow if you were to get quiet and just ask your heart more rather than your mind. So that's the big differences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally agree.
Have you had any experiences like that, Joyce?
Oh yes, many times when I'm feeling like you said, you make that list of everything, and you're thinking of everything you got to get done, and you're like, you don't even know where to begin, because there's so many things that have to happen, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. Where if you just, like you said, I love, place your hand on your heart and just breathe, and it's like, okay, it isn't that bad at all. Just take it one thing at a time, and your heart will lead you on how to what's the most important. It's amazing what a difference it makes when you do that, because otherwise you overwhelm yourself, and for instance, you just kind of put yourself into more of a trauma state where you're frazzled. You're getting more nervous. You're getting more upset because there's so many things. And if you just calm yourself down and quiet your mind, your heart will tell you what you need to be doing. So, yes, I can totally relate to that, because that is so beautiful. And I do it on a daily basis. I'm like, okay, what's the most important that has to be done? Where does my heart lead me first that I need to do? And then the rest, it's almost like the rest just kind of falls into place for me.
I love that you do that.
Yeah. It's just amazing how what you thought was so critically important, it's like, well, if I lead with my heart and I do this first, the rest will just kind of ease in, and it'll be so much easier to do. You're not as stressed is one of the big things that I really feel. You're more relaxed is how I would call it too. So, yeah, I can totally relate, Beth. I love it.
I'm so glad. And also I want to mention, I know you say you complimented me beautifully that I'm always from my heart, but the times that I'm not in my heart and I was too much in my mind is actually when I was in that stressed out mode, and I was just trying to figure out all the ways that I could make things work and do this and do that. And that's actually how I broke my leg. I was so much in my head, I wasn't tuning in with my inner guidance. And I was just in a frazzled mode, and I didn't see it, the little dog bone on the floor, and that's when I slipped on it and broke my femur. So it was like the biggest lesson ever, like, hello, back to us, we need you to tune in. It really was painful, but I got the message loud and clear. Every single morning I tune in with my inner guidance journal, and I say, what should I focus on today? How can I bring my magic to the world today? You know, things like that. And this morning was really remarkable, because I've been really just finished my new vision board for the year, and I started getting a ton of messages from the universe. Like, I had like 4 in one day, and I was like, okay. I've got to sit down and sort out, you know, how to start moving forward towards this vision, because I've always had this vision, but I've never actually taken the steps towards it. So today, my inner guidance said, they wanted me to write out exactly how I would create one of the programs for my dream facility that I've been thinking about. So they wanted me to get really specific and get really excited about it. And that way I was tapping into my heart, and it told me, this is what you need to do. This is how your doors are going to open. You can't just think, oh, it'll happen one day, because then it won't. You have to actually physically start writing out what you would like to be doing, and then that way you can visualize it in more detail, and then your energy will draw that towards you. And then once you're in that state, you realize that your mind has been holding you back the whole time, telling you that you would need to wait to have this place in order to create the program. But you can create the program first, and then the facility should start to manifest. So that was a huge flip for me just this morning. So you can think of it really in simple terms. Your mind, although it will help, will also create more restrictions. and your heart will open doors of the connected and joyful imagining. And once you're
that
there,
is a beautiful way to put it. Yes.
Once you're there, then your animals are like, oh, there you are, because they're always in that heart-connected space, just waiting for us patiently. And they love it when we get there, and then they can, play on the same level.
Yes. Oh, how definitely true that is. Because when you go into your heart space and you're around your animals, and they're more relaxed around you too. They're not. I can just see it with them because they feel more comfortable because they know you're both on the same playing field because you're both living from your heart. And when you talked about hurting yourself when you broke your leg when you were in your mind brainstorm way, I think of that so many times because so many times when I'm going, oh, I got to do this done, and then I'll trip and fall or something. And I'm going, well, it was your own fault because you weren't paying attention to what you needed to be. And to me, it's like, okay, just slow down and get out of that thought pattern and go back to your heart. And then things just start to flow. And like you said, when what your inner guidance journal told you today, I love that because what you manifest is what the energy you put out into the world and to make it happen like that. And that is just incredible because I was thinking of that too. I've added things to my vision board and I'm like, okay, now it's figuring. I've written down a lot of ways on how we can make these things happen. And it's just manifesting and living from your heart. It is such a beautiful experience is how I describe it.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you've experienced that too.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Yeah, I saw someone share a post recently said something to the effect of, I never bump into walls and have my shirt caught on the door when I'm in a good mood. And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly you're in your mind and you're stressing out because you're not actually in your body anymore. You're not conscious. So I saw that and I kind of giggled. I'm like, that was actually perfect for what we're talking about today. Because once you actually get to your heart and you're feeling your body more and you're much more mindful of how you're moving throughout time and space. And then you're much more careful so you're not going to be tripping. But yeah, ever since that fall, I'm very aware of looking around and moving slower. And anytime I get a little quick in my energy, I just notice what's around me and make sure I'm safe. Because I'll start running with Pepper and make sure I'm not going to trip over a ground pole or something. But that's a joyful movement and not a stressed out movement. So there's a difference there too,
Oh yes, definitely. That when you're in the heart movement, it's like it's an easy flowing movement. Where when I think of being in the mind and the brain, it's kind of it's a bumpier road. It's a bumpy road. Where in the heart mode, it's just an even flow. Is how I feel when I'm experiencing it. I'm like, oh my, things just flow so much more smoothly, and my animals and everything. It's incredible. It is just beautiful when you experience it.
Oh, yeah. And for those who are not that experienced with it and they'd like to try it, my advice would be to actually kind of compare the two. Like, do your normal brainstorm. Do your normal logicking. That's not a word. Mm-hmm. Do your best to figure out the logic of it and take your time and notice how you're feeling as you're writing out these things. And then take your time to breathe and get quiet and just place your hand on your heart and then ask for solutions there. And then notice the difference in how it feels when those answers start to flow in. And so it's really cool to have that knowledge and awareness of the difference. Mm-hmm. And then you can reach for what feels better.
Yes. And it's like you said, you just kind of told them how to get started to do it. And it's just practicing it. Be mindful of it. Think about it and go, okay, today, in this instant, I'm going to rather see what my heart has to tell me than what my mind is trying to tell me which direction to go. And it's amazing. You'll be so surprised what a difference it makes in your life and how it starts to change how you feel. You feel more vibrant. You're more energetic almost, I would say, too, because it's like the energy's flowing from your heart and it's flowing right back into your heart. The universe is putting it right back in there with the energy that you're giving out from your heart. And it's just practicing it is one of the things I would tell people, our listeners today. If you're used to living from your brainstorm and your logic and the mental chatter that's always going on, just say, okay, I'm going to turn the volume down on this today and turn the volume up on my heart and listen to what it has to tell me. And just practice doing that. And, yeah, I totally agree with you. You have described it so well. I absolutely love it, Beth. That is just beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's really the basics of it. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can set reminders on your phone and just say, breathe into your heart, things like that. You could even let it play like fun music that'll kind of get you more motivated to do that. And you're like looking for that certain song that comes on throughout the day. And it creates this more flow, and I love how you said it creates more energy. To me, it's like when you're connected to your heart, things are way more fun. And then you don't think of all the things you have to do. You get to think of all the things you get to do in life. And it just totally shifts your perspective. So even if you're feeling a little bit grumpy, you can just like drop into your heart and go, you know what, I'm alive right now. That's pretty dang cool. What else do I get to do? Oh, I have these puppies. Oh, I have this pony. And then you just start getting yourself into that appreciation avalanche, and then the mind chatter can calm down. And the mind is very useful for many things, but when it comes to inspired action, it's so much better to get into that heartstorm feeling. And even if writing down things isn't your thing, it might be where you might want to just start recording what comes out of your mouth. Some people are much better just talking it out. You can do that while your hand's on your heart. You could also listen to really amazing music. I know on YouTube I choose like sound healing music throughout the day to help keep me focused. Of course, there's meditations. I've created a bunch. If you're ever interested, you could look on inspiredwriting.com for that. And then they're also in my app. And that can help kind of give you that guidance to get you into your heart. I have one specifically for heart wisdom. So I have heart wisdom and horse wisdom. The cool thing is if you ask your heart what it needs, and then you switch over next to horse wisdom, you're already in that heart space that connects so beautifully with your horses. And that's where a space where you can have those deep conversations and telepathic exchanges. So it's like opening up a whole world if you're open to it. And the way I look at it, there's so much out there in this universe or multiverse or however you want to say it. It's like we're just scratching the little tiny surface, so might as well be open to all the possibilities, you know?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that. Well, and you mentioned your website, and tell her, if you would like to, tell our listeners a little more. You called your Focus app, where you talked about that you can go into the heart way and the horse way, horse wisdom, heart wisdom. Explain to our listeners, if you would for a moment, what kind of app that is and how they can connect with that. If someone is going, wow, I'm one that I like the apps, I'd like to hear more information on that. Can you give them a little more information on your Focus app, Beth? Please.
Well, the way to find it is just go to inspiredriding.com, and at the very top of the home site, you'll see the Focus app is here. So you can click on that, and then it's available for both iPhones and Androids. And I have created 26 meditations that you'll find that you can choose at any moment that you would like. And from there, you also have a quiz. So you can fill out this quiz to say how you're feeling, how your horse is feeling. And then after 4 questions, it'll produce a video with a suggested activity for you and your horse. And it's really beautifully designed because it'll show you things to do on the ground if you're not ready to ride that day, or ridden exercises. And then if you wanted to document everything, I have my journal, which is in digital form as well, So you just fill out how you're feeling before, how it went after, and it reminds you to tune in and check in with your inner guidance, your heart, and then check in with your horse's heart, and then get advice from your horse after. You can even upload a photo of your horse each day, so you'll be able to look back on the journal any date you want and see the picture of your horse and how they change from like week to week, you know, which is pretty awesome. And so the meditations, I can read them, the titles if you want.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So we have Appreciation Avalanche. Get into a state of gratitude and raise your vibration. Beach Ride. Feel safe, supported, and loved as you ride on a pristine beach. Now, if you wanted to try the beach ride for free, it's on my YouTube channel, so you can find it there. Then there's Bedtime. Bedtime reflections. Reflect on your day and set tomorrow up for success. Then there's a quick one called Before You Ride, a clear and concise way to set up a beautiful ride. There's Body Wisdom, which is also along the lines of heart wisdom, and you tap into your inner body wisdom to help relieve stress. That's actually one of my favorites because you also merge with your perfect body blueprint, and then from that space you go and connect energetically with your horse. It's so much fun. And we have Boost of Confidence, Creative Visualization, Energetic Housekeeper. That one helps you clean your energy field to feel lighter and brighter. And then we have Find Your Calm, Get Creative, Get Grounded, and then here's Heart Wisdom. Tune into your heart and listen to what it needs to tell you. And then the very next one is Horse Wisdom. Commune with your horse and get their advice. And then the rest are Indistractable. Find your focus and become indistractable. It's very useful, especially if you have a lot of people riding around you. Inner Compass. Inner Compass is similar to the Heart Wisdom, but it helps you make confident decisions by dialing in what feels true and what feels false. So there's a ton of tools here. And then there's one that's Just Breathe, gets you focusing on your breath. One of my favorite things I created for Inspired Riding is called Mounting Block Ritual. So when you're at the mounting block, you're sending love to your horse and appreciating them, imagining as if the ride has finished, and then they understand that you're taking that moment to appreciate them, and you're also making sure they feel ready for the ride.
Okay.
And next we have post-ride gratitude, pre-ride checklist, reset button. Reset button is great if you want to step into the editing booth to rewrite, reride, and rewire your mind and start fresh with something that wasn't going well and you want to make it better. There's just still a few more. I have so many here. Riding and recovering from a spook, very handy. Show day, where you run through the entire day before you go do it with your competition. And then there's sleep time. That's the longest one. I help you relax, and then you listen to this really beautiful sounds to fall asleep to. Then there's smooth transitions, sprinkle of fairy dust. I mentioned before, I'm a fairy dust distributor. So that one has one of the longer ones. It has 3 journeys in one meditation, and it helps you really find your power. And then the very last one is the thank you ritual, also known as Ho'oponopono, the forgiveness ritual. So you're just reminding yourself to be appreciative, and your horse will really love that. So, yeah, that's the long and short of the meditations. All of them are principally, average between 3 to 10 minutes. Some are 15 minutes. They're all designed to be, very quick, so I'm very mindful of not taking up too much time, but it's just perfect for people to just tune in and, take the little bit of time throughout their day and just get into their heart. And their horses will be so much more grateful for it, too.
Oh, those are all beautiful. Wow.
Thank you for letting me share that, Joyce.
Oh, you are so welcome. That is incredible, because that Focus app has so much of just what we're talking about. I mean, all those meditations go right in to living from your heart. And that is just beautiful. I love that one where you said you could take a picture of your horse daily, and it brought to my mind, my mare and I have so connected over the years, and it's just incredible. Even the look in her eyes is so much of a softer look. She never used to like a whole lot of attention until we really connected and went heart to heart to each other. And now she loves attention. I can lay all over her and rub on her, and she she's just so totally relaxed. So you really,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I love it too. I mean, when you connect to your horse's heart, it's an experience that is words cannot describe the feeling that it gives you. And I know she feels the same because she says it. She tells me, I love that we're so connected and that I love you. And yeah, it's beautiful. So it is a beautiful experience. Our listeners, I would like to share with them that I've experienced that, and it is absolutely incredible. It's very beautiful. Living from the heart with your horse, it's just an example of what it can do to change your life, and just like how it changed her. Once we started connecting heart to heart, her whole attitude and just what she wanted from me was so much different than what it had been in the past, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Awesome. And yeah, totally. So you would be able to review the differences in the pictures if you know you had just gotten her when the app started kind of thing, and then you can see how the relationship shifts. And I'm sure it'll even evolve more. I mean, I know every day with Pepper and I, we have these little nuances in our relationship, and I understand more, and he's able to convey more. It's really cool. Just the other day I was riding him, and I realized he was not moving out because he was waiting for me to say it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pepper, my body can do this with you. It's okay. Let's move out. And as soon as I said that, he picked it up another gear. And I was like, whoa, that was so cool. You just have to need, and then there it is.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that too. Yeah. Then having the pictures to see it and experience it is just beautiful. Well, Beth, you have shared such incredible information. I have loved every moment of this interview. It has gone way too quickly. What is a final tip that you would like to leave with our listeners today as we close out this interview?
Please schedule sometime today or tonight, depending on when you're listening to it, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and breathe into your heart and ask what it needs from you. And then you can start to ask more specific questions. But just start with that. That's what I would advise.
Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful tip. I love it. Thank you so much, Beth, for being my guest again today. This was awesome. I loved every moment of it. Thank you so much for all the sharing you did today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, and may the horse be with you always.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, and you are so welcome. And I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in to this absolutely amazing interview with our incredible diva, Beth Lauren Parrish. And be sure to tune in next month when Beth will be back again sharing some more incredible information. And be sure and check out her website, inspiredriding.com, and check out the Focus app. And check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and remember to take those few minutes and look into your heart and start to live from your heart. Give your animals that great big extra hug and share all your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.